big pet peeves in my entire life has been this concept of lesser of two evils. Lesser of two evils. The way people use it as a cop-out or an excuse not to vote, I just don't understand why. So some of the earliest uses of this term in late Middle Ages. Thomas Hammerkin, a scribe, a theologian, author, used it to describe the difference between purgatory and hell. Just think about that. Hell and purgatory. Middle ground and complete damnation. I originally started out with the idea as a high school, college, young adult, thinking to myself, well, if someone is less evil than the other person, why would one not prevent that greater evil from befalling their community? Why would somebody not prevent that worse person from gaining power and authority? People in America like numbers. Heck, we like fictitious numbers sometimes. So here's some fictitious numbers. Let's go 2K, right? There's attribute points. If candidate Kelly is 85% evil, 85 attribute points evil, and candidate Jane is only 75, why would we not prevent that 10 attribute points of evil? A lot of people vote for morals. If you have 4 moral objections to a candidate, if you have 4 moral objections to a candidate and their policies, but you only have 2 to a different candidate, why is it hard to vote for the candidate that you only have 2 moral objections? Are you serious? The political writer, philosopher Edmund Burke said the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. Where am I coming from? Well, listen, if you have the ability, go back to my fictitious points, if you have the ability to prevent 10, 20, whatever fictitious evil points, why would you not prevent that? You have the power in your hand. If you have the ability to vote for somebody that you only have 2 moral objections to, as opposed to 4 moral objections to, why would you not prevent those extra 2 moral, immoral policies in your mind? I was reading an argument by a psychologist, and he comes at it from a different perspective. He says the thing that he's concerned about with the lesser of two evil arguments is it's too overdramatic. What people really mean is we have to vote from disappointing choices. If we have a job that we enjoy but it's less than perfect, would we quit it because it's not perfectly what we want? But we want our candidates to be perfectly cloned to our values. Hey, if you had a functional marriage, a happy marriage, would you break that relationship up because it's not a perfect marriage? Man, I don't like the way she cooks. Why do we expect 2 people that have less connection to us than our family, less connection to us than our job, our co-workers and our boss, why do we expect some people who really aren't connected to us to have the exact same values? We will choose not to vote for somebody because of a few values we don't share and ignore the large glut of values that we do share with that person. One of the other things is, our president, unfortunately, is the scapegoat in chief. We have freedom of speech, which is a beautiful thing. But sometimes we use that just to use the president as a scapegoat. Things that he has no control over. Things in your life that you may have ruined. A lot of times we like to just throw up there, I don't have a good job because of the economy. We're throwing it on the president. Oh man, things are tough for me because of the president. Oh, huh? Are you serious? Dr. Jeremy says if you're frustrated with your candidates because they're not customizable or cloned to your values, then you might got your candidates mixed up with consumer products. Have you ever went to potato chip aisle? There are so many choices in the potato chip aisle. Have you ever been to a car lot? There are so many packages and colors in a car lot. We live in a consumer culture and we're used to that, but your candidate isn't. So it's not your job to actually find a clone of you. You might not even find that in your church. You might not even find that in your family. The last thing I think happens with this lesser of two evils, I don't want to vote for anybody, is sometimes people just don't want to do the homework. It gets too confusing. In modern day, there's so much noise out there. There's so much political talk. There's so much analysis, and a lot of it is horrible. When there's so much noise that they can't filter it out, sometimes people just say, hey, listen, it's not worth it. Your job is to find somebody who's going to serve the needs of you, your family, your job, your community the best. And that obviously is going to be the lesser of two evils, or the best between two disappointing choices. Hey, thanks for listening. Whether you're watching this in an election year or whether you're watching this just because you subscribe to my channel, I thank you. Please subscribe. Please leave me a comment. Ask me a question. Let me know what you want to talk about later. I'll put some neat links in the bottom, giving some props to some other channels and some other videos I've seen. Hope to see you soon.